Hello and welcome to another episode of The Card Show. We changed the scheduled pod with Jamie Salt, who we were talking about current state of paid influencers in the hobby. It got delayed unfortunately. So I'm going to talk to you about sort of one of the key tactics, I think, one of the key strategies I use for sort of making money in this hobby, the way it keeps me in the hobby, because you know that if you make money in a hobby, you're going to stay in a hobby longer. If people that go into breaks usually don't last so long because they're just putting money into breaks and not putting up trumps. So yeah, way to stay in this hobby, and it makes it more fun. And sometimes you can, do quite well, so you can get some cards yourself. And I just find it a very good strategy. Is obviously the prospecting route. And what I mean by that is, being involved in the sport, looking at people prior, getting their first cards. Not always licensed cards. This is obviously before the whole Topps licensing issue. And yeah, usually getting graded and trying to be one of the first in the markets and getting it sold. But the hype is there. So we'll talk currently. Let's go to NBA for this next draft coming. So obviously we've had Bowman Chrome University out, so there's cards, there's autos. That's going to be good as well for hype. The next one for these people, so we look at Cooper Flag, probably the biggest one. The next two, kind of arguable, whether it's Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey, but they're going to have cards prior with the Bowman University. I'm just watching the F1 as well, sorry about that. Ferrari are messing up as always with their tactics. They finally allowed Hamilton to get past. But yeah, and you have the cards. You have the opportunity as well. So some people, we had it with Shador a couple of years ago, we signed with Onyx, some people signed with Leaf, etc., and have stuff out prior. But these in the basketball, their draft's obviously coming up in a few months. There's going to be hype around them. There's not going to be any other them in uniform stuff yet, for their team. So there'll be opportunities there. Another opportunity now, because you may feel a bit too late to that party, because obviously the product's been out, there's been sales. Is waiting for the draft day, the Panini or Topps draft day with Cooper Flag, for instance. He's a Topps signee. He's in the Bowman Chrome. So you'll want the Topps now draft as opposed to the Panini license one. But again, there'll be plays there to made because he's probably going to be number one. He's probably going to go to his Wizards, if I'm correct. But there'll be hype about him coming to the league. He's going to be that sort of star player. And then if we go to NFL, we're going to go to next year's draft. So just quickly run through this. So I'd probably say Arch. I think he will declare. I think he'll do a year. He might not. He may do a couple more years. I believe it. I believe he's going to do a couple of years, but you never know. He could do once near as a starter and dip. But I do believe he's going to do a couple. Dylan Raiola was someone that's been catching a lot of eyes, mainly because of the Mahomes comparisons, because of his hairstyle, bit of his gameplay, and I think it's going to be interesting because also we've got Carson Beck, sort of switch universities. Cade Klubnik could be up there, potential QB to go first. So that'll be interesting as well. But again, these people are going to have cards now for a long time. A lot of them now have the Panini NAL deals. So use the Panini cards. They have autos, all this sort of stuff. And they'll be big, just under a year, like 9 months' time, because when we get to this sort of February time after the Super Bowl is done next year, everyone's looking at the draft. They're the people we're talking about. People are looking for any sort of card they can get. They won't have much of the rookie cards sort of out this last year going. So that's your opportunity there. Again, there will be Panini nights, the instant stuff, and the Topps now. Actually, Archman is a Panini signee, so he'll have the Panini instant one. I think Dylan Raiola might be as well. If we don't come out, I think he is Panini as well. So yeah, you can have plays there as well because at least they have the sort of the cap, sometimes in the jersey, they don't do the name on holding up. So there'll be plays there to be made as well. But it's also them waiting for the products of the, sort of, it's usually scores, usually the first one. It's never usually the best. But yeah, it's something. Obviously, the optic preview has been big this last year or so. But yes, that's just an example. So let's get into it a little bit more. So, it's why I always say you have to sort of be in the sport, or you have to sort of watch these sports. You could kind of shortcut it and look into sort of stats and look at where the experts think that the sort of the top pick's going to go and do it that way. Of course, you could. Is obviously a risk there. I mean, people did something similar with Shedeur Sanders, right? He ended up going in the fourth round, but he still got the third highest selling jersey. His own merch sold out within a day. So there's hype within him. So there's, that breeds that sort of hype. Yes, he's not gone to the biggest market in Cleveland. If he gone to New York, for instance, but there's that sort of buzz about him. So you could go that way. You could get really lucky that way. You could go someone that's the experts have done all the work for you, and you just come in to the right top 3, top 5. That's where I'm going to go. I'll buy the cards, whether it's Panini Instance, whether it's NIL stuff. On it, another one. I picked up a few on it. Jeremiah Smith cards, actually just for more of a PC. It's one of my first ones I've done like that. So it's interesting, but that's another option. And then you can obviously hope and hope that it sort of plays out that way in 9 months' time, and you can get the cards done. Or you could actually be involved in sport, watch, and maybe you have a bit of a scout side. And you say, listen, this guy, people may talk about him as much. We've had it with the likes of Benedict Mathurin. Sort of go under the radar but ball out. You could talk about maybe I suppose one of the big ones at the moment is probably Jalen Brunson, right? Yeah, even him and Luka, the Mavs, and people still weren't big on him. And now look at him. People talking about one of the best Knicks players, to have graced a jersey. It's kind of crazy. So there's opportunities like that. The important thing is obviously the cards. Not every card of this person is going to have great value. Yes, you want to try and get autos, number, but they're all going to be a sort of not superseded, but they'll have maybe a more of a pull, more of a market if you've then got the Bowman Chrome University, for instance. So you may have the Leaf beforehand, and I've talked highly about Leaf before. We obviously Leaf done very well with autographs. But then a few months down the line, if they're in the Chrome and they're signing, people are going on the Bowman Chrome. Similarly with the Panini Prism draft, it's kind of does well. It's not the biggest pull, but with it being the first in the market, first lots, people like to get them sort of stuff too. So, and obviously college football, basketball has a big support anyway. When it comes to them actually getting into the league, so now we're talking 2 years in line, hopefully you should have made some money from the college stuff. You got a bit of funds left, and then you can go into the products when they're in the pro game. But then it is a quick case of in and out, because we are then sort of result based, less this prospecting hype sort of stuff. I would always say to grade as well. I know it's difficult sometimes if you're looking at eBay or marketplaces for IPL of cards, but you're adding a value to a card, especially if you're coming back with a 10 from PSA, you can add that value. Yes, turnaround times have changed again for them. So this is why it's quite important to sort of be, on it as soon as possible, as soon as the product's out. Look for singles on eBay, look for, I won't say look for breaks, but, you have to keep an eye on sometimes. If you want to buy a product and do it again, it's a bit more expensive because then you buy a product hoping to hit them sort of cards. But yeah, look for single cards, invest money up that way. That then sets up sort of a market for what the raw card's doing. As I said, try and get turnaround to get it graded and try and get to market first and set a price according. and then that sets the precedent for what they should be in the future. Again, it doesn't always work out that well, but you have to sort of have a good structure to what you're going to do, knowing you're going to do it, and obviously know how much you're going to be in for stuff. Hope this little 10-minute segment here helps and made some sense. I mean, it's not the only way. It's just one of the best ways I found to sort of make money in a hobby. People do ask at times as well, like, is it always PSA? Because obviously the turnaround times, would you go SGC or CGC? Would you use a European grading company just to get that quick turnaround? Obviously, I could send it off now to AGS, MGC, etc. And usually I go PSA just because of it's a US sort of sports I'm going into. PSA is sort of the reputable brand that the Americans love to buy, and people around the world do too. And it's sort of seen as the number one at the moment. You've seen him at Carty grade, so yes. Although I have just submitted my first AGS submission, I will do something about that in the future. As they're in England, they were doing sort of a free stuff. You just paid for shipping and a few extra stuff. So I've gone through the whole thing, and it was easy enough to do. I've got a little video on that. But yeah, I just found it very interesting with it all being a full AI sort of grading company. So yeah, I sent I actually got the card here. I think I still got a card behind me. It's a MetaZoo, like a first anniversary promo card. Again, it's like it's not worth much. It's $2 pack at a time. I don't know what the retail market is on them. I've just had it, and I just thought I had to dig something sort of TCG Pokemon out there. The market is more for that sort of stuff. It's AGS. So yeah, just dug some out. I think it's all in. It's cost me $7.99. That's with packaging, and I paid a few extras. I got like the scans and something else I can't actually remember off the top of my head, but a few other things. But I'll also have got a little video on that coming out. But yeah, maybe in the future I would use them. But currently I would just say PSA. They depending on what the product is, obviously with Bowman coming out sort of last of those products usually with the college stuff, I said they could get other stuff with the being Leaf, etc. If they're not, then it is strictly Bowman Chrome. Yes, you might get your NIL deal stuff from Panini, or you might have other stuff, I suppose. Wildcard, Stage, potentially, them sort of companies. Yes, there could be potential that you have to go SGC, but usually I would say try and keep it with PSA just to maximize it. And you shouldn't ever have an issue where the Chrome comes out sort of it's too late and Giraffe's real soon, and you don't think you're gonna get it and get it graded and get it sent to you in time. Obviously, you could just put it in your vault at PSA straight away and get loaded onto eBay from there, so it kind of makes it a little bit quicker. But yeah, that's the way I would say to go. Let me know if you think I'm missing one out, by the way. I know you did like a couple there of each sports. Let me know if you think I'm missing someone NFL or NBA wise. Yes, there's obviously other sports you can do, MLB, NHL, obviously soccer. I think it's a lot bit harder when it comes to sort of soccer because obviously we don't have a draft system. It's not even like we have a good product for sort of championship, so you couldn't get players in championship that come to the Prem or might get scouted and go to the Prem. So this is kind of an easier way. It's why I prefer doing mainly NFL for myself, just because where I find the most hype. It's probably like the biggest one at the moment, big sport. So the prospecting on NFL quarterbacks is crazy. But that's probably one of the best tactics I have. And I said always try and grade at a value to your card. I do get it. It's difficult to see what a card looks like, especially on the screen, and what it'll grade like. But yeah, of course you have to take these risks. So yeah, I hope you find that part helpful. I don't think there's too much to talk about. We talked about the product, the sort of licensed this stuff with Topps will supersede a lot of the unlicensed stuff. with Leaf, Sage, etc. But yeah, when it comes to sort of the draft ones, yeah, whoever they sign with is probably the best bet there. I think if you have the option of for instance, Topps unlicensed signed card for draft day as opposed to the Panini licensed unsigned, I think the signed one will do better just because it's signed. And again, it's no real big licensing issue. Maybe the cap sort of blurred out, something like that, but it's the jersey from the back, so it shouldn't be anything sort of blurred out there, so it should be okay. But yeah. In other news of the hobby, what else have we got? It was I don't know how true this is. I saw, I think it was MGC post this, that a father and son hit a Yamal in a break, sold it for like 117, something like that. Quite a lot of money in it, and I've started a shop. That's kind of a cool story. That they've just started a shop. Yeah, it's a lovely sort of story. I just hope that people don't think, well, our breaks to the way then, because they hit this in a break and that's it. We can hit a similar card and have our own shop sort of thing. It's like a 1 in a million sort of thing, right? I don't know what the odds are, but yeah, to hit a card like that, set up that much is crazy. Doesn't happen all the time. Usually it's the other way around. People get into 100 grand worth of debt with nothing to show. But fair play to him. I think it shops in Nottingham, which I don't think there's a shop amazingly close there. I think there's a few sort of Midlands, isn't they? But yeah, that's kind of cool for them. Very good story. Kind of positive of the hobby for a change in the UK. Other than that, we back to sort of heavy show season. We just had the Milan show at the weekend of recording this. Currently said the Miami F1 Grand Prix is currently going on. We're on lap 55 at the moment, and yeah, the craziness of what's going on there. London, it's like one of the last few at Isha potentially, but I don't know. Just reach over and get my drink. 1 second. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens out there. Do they keep going back every other show, with the XL being booked up or etc.? Once they go XL, could you never go back? I talked about it briefly in the last pod. If I was someone hosting a car show, I'd definitely move into that place at Isha. Very good location. People have raved about it for ages. People know it. Thousands of people know it. Have accommodation nearby. It's the locals of people. So yeah, I'd definitely do that. I would definitely do that. But yeah. Well, I think that's it. I don't think I'm missing anything else. I usually am. Another short, sweet episode. Am I missing anything? No, I'm hoping to get a few people on. Again, I've reached out with Jamie was sort of the first sort of person I've reached out to in a while. Just so we know how busy I've been and other people have been. But yeah, hoping to get some guests on soon, just talk about their current journey in the hobby, their sort of thoughts on things. I said hope to get the Jamie sort of interview, sort of chat rearranged soon. Look at the Down Boys on again. Talk about the growth and stuff that's happening there. Their store, growth for the team, etc. I'd like to get the Fill of a Card podcast lads on to sort of share that's sort of died off. Ben and Lee. Obviously, Lee can talk about how the shop's getting on as well. Lots another round table with some lads. I thought it was a cool concept, cool thing to do. I go to get JJJ cards on again. I was doing this full time in chat. Yeah, fewer people. But yes, I will be pulling my finger out soon, getting more people on. Need to get Jordan from Scotland Carter on again as well. Big show coming up soon. I should be there. Hotel Books in Glasgow, which I'm looking forward to. only staying the one night, but I think that might change now to a 2-nighter. I might have to do Friday. I was gonna go up Saturday, the morning, but now I'm just thinking about the Friday. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, I have to get him on to about what he's going on in his events and his stuff. Anyway, boy Jamie, our sports card Scotland, because I know he's got some stuff planned. So it'd be kind of cool to catch up with him. And obviously Sports Card UK Dan. But yeah, so a array of people need to get on. For sure. Potentially some more voice coming from shows again and shops, just so you can get yourself a bit more active. Now I'm freeing some time up. And yeah, some more content elsewhere. I'll be doing some more stuff, hopefully. A bit more free time on my hands. But other than that, anything else? Anything else? Don't think so. I want to talk a bit about Prism, but Prism is what Prism is. People love Prism. So, and with it being Premier League Prism just coming out, I thought, let it be. Let it be. The Grand Prix is just finished. There we go. It's not a spoiler alert because it's already happened, so that's always good. So Piastri's won, Norris second, Russell's claiming third. Yeah, Verstappen should get fourth. Albon, Antonelli, Leclerc, Hamilton. Sainz could take this from Lewis though. He's in DRS, it's half a second. Tsunoda should get 10th. I'll let you know about Sainz. He's not there yet. Oh, he's hit him. Oh, Sainz just hit him. Jesus. Ooh. Not much I could have played that, but yeah. Interesting. It's kind of getting interesting. I talked about Piastri done a long ago. Also, what Antonelli's coming on amazingly as well. It's another one to watch out for in F1. Another sport that's kind of difficult to prospect on because of the whole F2, F3 scenario, the cars you do get. But yeah, so that's why I didn't get too much into that. NBA and NFL are the easiest in that respect of drafting the cars you get. That's why I touched on them ones. But yeah, I find that's one of the best, easiest, most consistent plays to continue to make money in this hobby. Don't get me wrong, there's many other, but yeah, that's one of my easier, so straightforward plays. I hope this episode sort of semi helped. Take care. I'll see you guys soon.